It's been a crazy year for the entertainment industry. Pretty much all of their long-term plans have changed. I really wonder about movie theaters and the way movies are going to be released to the public in the future. They're pretty much all betting on, doing streaming. Netflix is in a pretty good position, but I really wonder how movies survive without movie theaters and so on and so on, and without cable, with everything going to streaming and with so many streaming formats. I really wonder about the future for the entertainment industry. Will they make the same amount of money without doing the box office and then physical releases and then doing streaming? I really do wonder about that. The prestige of sharing a movie with people in the movie theater. The future of the entertainment industry is for sure with it has a lot of doubt. I wonder, is it going to be the same size? What's it going to look like? Who knows? That's why I pulled this article up, just kind of for the background here amid film delays and movie theater closings. Can Hollywood be saved? I think it's a legit question. I really do. And, you can say this for a lot of people. A lot of industries are likely to change. So much so that this British politician has suggested that everybody should adapt and possibly retrain and maybe look into other areas of employment, maybe consider using some time to, learn a new area, learn a new skill. I don't think that that's terrible advice, to be honest. I actually think that that's pretty sound. If you're in an industry that's highly impacted by the coup, you might want to look into something and learn something new. It's never a bad time to learn something new anyway. It just makes yourself more valuable. The more you know, the more you can potentially make. I don't think it's crazy advice. He also suggested that celebrities may want to retrain amidst everything going on. Well, one person disagrees. In fact, was a little offended by this. That would be Game of Thrones star Kit Harington. You might remember him as Jon Snow. He says it's a little offensive to suggest retraining. He's thinking of himself, by the way, not other areas. He's solely talking about actors and actresses and entertainment.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Now, what's really funny about this is I don't think that the entertainment industry of Britain was singled out specifically, but Kit here takes very big offense with it. Very, very privileged take from Kit here. Let's go ahead and take a look, in which the Chancellor spoke of the need to adapt across all sectors. Harington told Robert Peston that it was offensive. I don't know what the Chancellor said or didn't say, but I think the suggestion that people should retrain is quite offensive, he told Peston. It suggests that our jobs in the arts are just sort of hobbies that we can let go of on a whim, the actor continued. I think that what we do in this country has a rich history of theater and the arts, and I think it's one of our greatest exports, and I think it needs to be valued as such. He adds, it brings in a lot of money into this country, just on purely economic basis, so the idea of retraining is a silly one, I think. Last month, Kit Harington discussed his upbringing, which he described as being a little bit more fluid, by the way. I asked for a Mighty Max, and she bought me a Polly Pocket. He's referring to his mother. I asked for an Action Man, and I got a doll. It was very fluid from the word go, and I went with it. He suggests that his most recent role is during for a Netflix show called Criminal. I haven't watched it, but what a very pampered and privileged take about his job retraining. Everybody else is okay, but his is a very, very needed. It's an essential business. It's essential. They must keep going. So, I know there's so many ways. Are you suggesting, Kit, that maybe you should get a government salary or something? You're not an essential business. And in fact, I have to agree with the Chancellor that yes, you are disposable. No celebrity is essential. Like, you're all replaceable, and it is kind of a hobby. Like, there's not really much value to it. Like, especially modern celebrities, most of them are pretty useless. Can you really think of like a modern celebrity that really transcends their roles like, Arnold used to, or some actor or actress like that? Like Arnold, when I think of him, I think of like action movies in general, right? When I think of Chris Evans, I think of Captain America. I don't think of all comic book movies. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Maybe like The Rock, I guess, is a really big celebrity. I can't think of too many that just like transcend their roles anymore. Very, very few. The day of the actor and the actress are kind of over. They are disposable. I agree with the Chancellor. Like, they're all replaceable. They're all disposable. None of them are essential. None of them transcend into their platforms. Those days are over. A big name doesn't draw in people. The best example of this is Robert Downey Jr., and I don't really have a problem with Robert Downey Jr. The point that I'm making here is he was huge. Iron Man, Avengers, Marvel, MCU. And then he's done. He goes and does Dr. Dolittle. The movie bombs. In fact, it was the first bomb of 2020. That movie failed. It was a huge disaster. Made no money. His name didn't draw anybody. Back in the day, you know, a Robert Downey Jr., if you were to take him and say that he had the star power of the 80s, like if this was the 80s, that movie would have made some money because he's just coming off of a humongous performance in Endgame. He's the biggest thing about Endgame if you look back about it, because he was Tony Stark and he died. Like he was the main character of that movie in a lot of ways. And then he breaks off and does Doolittle, the movie flops. That's where we're at today. If this was in the 80s or the 90s, that movie would have been a humongous hit just because what's he doing now? And that's where we're at. So yes, Kit Harington, you're not essential. You're very disposable. Nobody gives a shit about celebrities anymore. Celebrity culture is crashing and burning. And if there's anything that 2020 has done, it's accelerated that. You're not essential. In fact, you're kind of a nobody. Nobody knows you as Kit Harington. They know you as Jon Snow. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I got to tell you, I think that they could have replaced him in Game of Thrones, and after like 2 episodes, nobody would have cared. In fact, didn't they replace people in that show? Didn't like 1 or 2 of the characters get new actors or an actress? I don't remember. Pretty sure somebody got replaced. It would have been a little bit weirder with Jon Snow, sure, but at the end of the day, I don't think anyone would have cared. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you would, please leave a comment, throw a like up, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. And I will see all of you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.